Lord, I can't even leave Miami without all hell breaking loose. First it was Trina, now it's Jack Fallon and Coach Stormy over there with the TLC products. I'm around here trying to mourn with my family. I'm getting cursed out all in my comments and being taken to task, and I don't even know what the hell is going on. Want to talk about it? God knows I don't. But here you go. Nessa girl, I just landed back in Miami after being in Mississippi since Wednesday for a funeral. I went and picked the dogs up from the doggy hotel, and my first order of business was to come home and make this video. After landing in Mississippi, particularly on my Trina video, in the comments, everybody is taking me to task, saying, I'm canceled, Coach Stormy is canceled, I don't make comments on Trina, when am I gonna make comments on my homegirl Stormy? Oh, Dineva, you ain't shit, you ain't said nothing about Stormy, when you gonna say something about your boss, Stormy? And I'm like, what did Stormy do or say? I've been traveling. Lo and behold, I go to Stormy's Instagram page and I see what she said, and I'm like, oh. And so I guess I've been now put in a position where I now have to address both of them. I talked both Stormy and Jack Fallon. I thought about this while I was on the airplane, and I really am in a conundrum, and I'm going to be very transparent with y'all. Stormy is somebody on a personal level that I like. I would consider her a friend. She is somebody that I like, and she is my friend. It is always an uncomfortable situation when you're put in a situation where you are expected to admonish or chastise your friend, especially publicly, right? And so I was like, okay, Q, what do you do with this? You got a hard decision to make. And then I thought back to one of my favorite quotes by Walt Disney's brother whenever it comes to a hard decision. He said, there is no such thing as a hard decision if you know where your values lie. Well, my integrity is now being called into question because I have now aligned myself with Coach Stormy and Jack Fallon of TLC. And quite frankly, my integrity means more to me and will always mean more to me than any relationship with Stormy or Jack. And so in this instance, I have to choose my integrity over this friendship, and I am here to say this. Stormy Wellington, sis, what came out your mouth was a bunch of bullshit. It was tone deaf as all hell, and it was ignorant as all fuck. When I saw it, I looked at it and I was like, I cannot believe this woman sat up on here and said this. Your words were riddled with nothing but selfishness. Here it is, you've got people who are looting who otherwise probably would not have the opportunity to obtain some of the items in which they have. You've got people out here on the front lines who are fighting racial inequality, socioeconomic inequality, police brutality, and you had the mitigated gall to get on social media and complain about you losing $100,000 in one day without realizing what the blessing being in the position to even make $100,000 in a day is. Your message was tone deaf. It was completely tone deaf. It lacked regard for all things going on, and it showed that you must be ill-informed about what it is that is going on out here in the world, because the person that I know and the woman that I've witnessed motivate a lot of people would not say no dumb, insensitive shit like that. Stormy, it does not make it any better that a large part of your over-the-top persona is the fact that you have your Chanel bags and your Rolls Royce and your nice house, and you know, dangling materialistic items is a part of your whole setup, is a whole part of your persona. So when you weigh you already having a very outwardly materialistic persona, and then you start to talk about losing $100,000 in relation to standing in solidarity with your people over something this important, this vital, this brutal, this historic, it is offensive as all fuck. And as a result of it, you got me out here looking like a goddamn fool, and everybody else who believes in you and who is selling these products. Now, sis, I will say this. My mama always told me never tear nobody down without extending a hand to lift them up. I will say, apparently your ass done lost more than $100,000, because whatever it was, it got your ass singing a change of heart. And growth is a beautiful thing. I'm not going to nail you to the cross, and this too shall pass, as you said in your video, because you did have a slip of the tongue that was based in misinformation. You know, Stormy, I gotta tell you this, sis. This is not the first time you've done this. You've done this once before on the trans issue. And it's a learning lesson when you did the whole, I want to give a shout out to the girls, but the real girls, the girls that can have babies, the girls that bleed once a month. Once again, a very ill-informed, selfish statement that rattled a lot of feathers. In the vein of never tearing nobody down without extending a hand to lift them up, I offer to you, perhaps you should leave these sorts of things alone on your social media. Stick to motivating, stick to selling, stick to what you do, because it is evident when it comes to the social things, you got a habit of putting your foot in your mouth. And while I do agree with your statement, your words do not reflect your heart. Unfortunately, everybody else out there does not have the luxury of knowing you the way I know you, and the way that people who love you know you. You hurt a lot of people. You hurt the very people who put the $100,000 that you lost in your pocket. In addition to that, you have now compromised the integrity of a lot of us who have signed on to this movement because of you, because now we're pushing this product and people are looking at us to take a stance, because they're like, what are you going to do? For lack of a better term, and this was not meant to be funny, you done fucked up the church's money. Coming into the TLC business, I never thought that I would enjoy sales. I enjoy the products work, the people that I have pushed the products to enjoy the products, and I enjoy the art of selling. I love all the catchy marketing that I've been doing, selling the product, and I've been having a lot of fun selling the products. It's frustrating for me now that I'm now put in a situation where I have to, figure out, what does my future with this look like as a result of trying to get through this storm with you and Jack? That moves me to Jack. Jack, while I had kitty gloves with Stormy, I refused to wear them with you. You are a white man in this country in a very turbulent racial time. You got to watch what the fuck you say out your mouth as it relates to the movement and when it comes to black people. You and other white people out there know exactly what the fuck y'all are doing when y'all say all lives matter. Y'all act as if it'll kill you to say 3 words, Black Lives Matter. By saying Black Lives Matter, by no means are we trying to exclude the fact that all lives matter. We know that it is a given, but it is black lives that are endangered right now. And every time you and people who look like you and share similar backgrounds from you come with this all lives matter shit, you completely undermine what it is that we are trying to accomplish in this movement. And quite frankly, you're doing it on purpose. You cannot tell me in 2020, for as long as Black Lives Matter has been a hashtag, that you were not fully aware of what you're doing when you say all lives matter. There have been too many articles floating around on Facebook. There's been too many op-eds, too many think pieces, too many Instagram clips, too many YouTube clips for you to not understand the brevity of what it is you were doing. I feel as if it's very antagonistic. It is very condescending, and it diminishes what it is we're trying to accomplish when you say all lives matter. To top it off, it doesn't make it any better that the lion's share of your sales force are the black lives that matter, because to this day I have yet to see blue-eyed, blonde-haired white women running around talking about Nutraverse. All your celebrities, at least on the American front, for the reality TV world, so on and so forth, all of these people who coach Stormy have been able to garner, have been black reality stars, black celebrities, black YouTubers, much like myself, and I am appalled. Because once again, I'm now placed in a compromising situation where everybody's looking at me and saying, Dineva, I can't support you or that product because you are working with or working for that racist white man who said what he said. Now I'm sitting here looking all kinds of stupid because once again, I enjoy the product, I enjoy selling the product, and let's frank it, I enjoy the money that I'm making from the product. So now my morals, my ethics, my integrity is now being compromised because y'all having these ignorant ass slip of the tongues. Here's what I will say to both Stormy and Jack. You know, an apology is one thing, right? An apology is one thing. A change of heart is another. While a large part of me wants to just go in and be like, both of y'all apologies are some straight up bullshit, that you're only saying them because your pockets were hit, I am fair enough in my thinking to understand that yes, the apologies were prompted by the financial loss, but perhaps it was the financial loss that made you sit down, take a beat, and think. And the reason why I have to go with that school of thought is because that would make me a hypocrite in believing that them tearing up Louis, Gucci, and Prada is not doing the same for those big corporations and tearing up Target. If I'm going to give the looters license to tear up and burn down shit in an effort to get folks' attention, then I will accept some sort of explanation from the both of you by means of you guys being hit financially. Jack, I hope you understand, you truly understand the magnitude of how insulting what it is you said and the way you referred to the George Floyd event. How re-traumatizing that is for a lot of black people and how compromised of a situation we are all in. Those of us who like the products, those of us whose lives have been changed, those of us who have changed people's lives by introducing them to some level of financial freedom or the little extra money that I always say, a little extra ain't gonna hurt nobody. All of this has now been compromised and it has left us all wondering, where do we go from here? When I was on the airplane, I really was prepared to say to Jack, you need to put your money where your mouth is and donate. And I'm glad to see when I got home, sat down, looked at this thorough statement that you put out there, that you have made a pledge to donate to the cause. Has your heart changed in 24, 48 hours? Probably not. Probably not. But has it made you take a beat and think twice and opened up the channels of communication and opened up some sort of line of understanding, perhaps? I definitely hope. Coach Stormy said in her thing that she'd be taking a couple days away from social media. I've never seen Stormy this affected by things that go on in social media, especially when it relates to her and her reputation. So I do know that she is bothered by this and is probably deeply saddened by it. And it's good. A little pain ain't never hurt nobody. That's how we learn. A little tap on the wrist, a little negative emotion is sometimes what we all need to put us in line and to help us see the error of their ways. That being said, y'all wanted me to speak on it. I felt compelled to speak on it because I speak on everybody else when it comes to things like that. And that's where I'm at with it. Stormy is still our sister. And much like when Gayle King said what she said in relation to Kobe, and Michael Eric Dyson came out and said we can't allow one mistake to completely erase somebody's legacy and all the good work that they've done, despite the fact of the dickhead ass shit that Stormy said out her mouth. It does not negate the fact that she has done a lot of positive, and she's done more good in this world than she has done bad. Charge it to her head, not to her heart. And Jack, moving forward, I hope that we could see a lot more forward thinking, taking a true stance on issues, and being more compassionate and open mind and understanding of what it is the very people who make you rich and make you comfortable go through. Because what you said really did hurt, and it really was a slap in all of our faces. Listen, y'all, that's all I got. Ain't got no more. Y'all be sure to like and subscribe. I would tell you to drop that in the description box and buy some products or sign up to be on my sales team, but that probably would be tone deaf in a moment like this. At any rate, y'all be good. Talk to you soon. Bye.